How in the world could he shoot if he had a T-shirt in one hand and a phone in the other?
Exclusive video obtained by WRTV6 showing moments leading up to a deadly encounter, leaving a mother with even more questions about the killing of her son at the hands of police. And that surveillance video that Call 6 investigates, obtained from May 6, doesn't show everything, but lawyers for the mother of Dreasjon Reed say it supports their claim that Reed did not fire his gun at police. Now, investigators say IMPD attempted to stop a foot chase with a taser, which did not get the job done. Police claim Reed fired at officers twice before he was killed. Call 6 Chief Investigator Rafael Sanchez can explain exactly what this new video could mean to the case. Rafael.
Amanda, good evening to you. This exclusive video, about 24 seconds long, is another piece of the puzzle involving this fatal police shooting, which led to days of protests and to the filing of a federal lawsuit. Dreasjon Reed ended a police chase when he stopped in this lot behind the Ace Lock and Key building near 62nd Street and Michigan Road. He had been streaming on Facebook Live, and it continued as he ran from the vehicle. The surveillance camera shows his left hand with a T-shirt, his right hand with 2 cell phones, and you can see that from his Facebook Live feed. Officer Dreasjon Reed, whose face we're not showing until Metro releases his department picture, was running behind the 21-year-old.
There was no way he could have turned around and taken 2 shots at the police officer. Even when you look at the video that's out there in public, they were not too far from each other. He's a trained soldier. If he had shot him, he would have gotten him.
Reed served in the Air Force from February through November 2017. The military says due to privacy rules, it can't discuss the length of his service. The Lawrence Central graduate returned home from Texas. On January 28, 2019, he was the victim of a robbery. As you can see, the injuries were significant.
That day changed my son to the point where he didn't sleep a whole lot. He got to the point where he felt like he had to look over his shoulder constantly. That's when he changed his name to Sean. He said Dreasjon died because Dreasjon didn't see that someone hated him. He said that day he tried to get away too. He tried to get away and he couldn't get away. From somebody that wanted to take money from him.
Dreasjon was known as Sean on Facebook Live. His social media watchers watched on May the 6th as he led police on a chase for several miles. Reed mentioned he did not want to go to jail because he faced an outstanding warrant connected to a traffic stop in Indianapolis dating back to September. The surveillance video does not show Officer Mercer tasing Reed or the exchange of gunfire reported by Metro Police, which led to Dreasjon's death.
We know he was murdered. What we're trying to find out was that a justified murder or unjustified murder. And there's nothing that I've seen that would tell me that the police had a right to take his life.
How in the world could he shoot if he had a T-shirt in one hand and a phone in the other?
Tonight, Dreasjon's mother tells me that she has spoken with the special prosecutor. That conversation is private, but moving forward, what are her thoughts on the ongoing process? You'll hear from her tonight on the news at 11. And of course, Amanda, key to the investigation, did Dreasjon shoot at police? Was the shooting justified? And who owned the gun that police found by the young man's body? Amanda?
And Rafael, what's the status of the investigation and how much access have Reed's attorneys to the evidence?
I can tell you that the investigation is ongoing. Of course, state police are handling that investigation. The legal team for the family is somewhat concerned, somewhat frustrated, because much of the information at times that they're getting and they're hearing from the press, for example, the naming of the special prosecutor, they heard from the press. The release of the police officers a couple of days ago, they heard from the press. And that is why they want the U.S. Department of Justice to send in the FBI to Indianapolis to investigate this case.
Okay, Rafael, thank you. And complete details on this Cause 6 Investigates story can be found on the IndyChannel.com and the RTV6 app.